Oh, good morning. Um, yes. Hello, hello. So it's Saturday. Yeah. Okay. So um, I just wanted. I'm gonna share with you a couple of things, and as gently as I can, as gently as I can. Um, and I don't know if this can get in or not, but we'll see. So it's really easy for us to see the grosser addictions around us. If somebody's addicted to gambling, we see the results. If somebody's addicted to a substance like food, food addiction, the results are quite obvious generally. If we're addicted to drugs or alcohol, it's it's generally quite obvious. And so many of us, point the finger and we see it in our family, and we're, oh, our hearts go out to them, and we're concerned for them, and we love them, and we would do anything to support them. And but it's very hard for us to look at ourselves. Generally, it's very hard for us to look at ourselves and see what's happening in our own pain, and how we will say that we believe in a higher power, or that we believe in a God, or we believe in a universal intelligence, or we believe in the Father of Light. We believe in our the Creator. Depending on our belief, our faith, we'll say that we do. But are we living in that faith and trust? Are we actually in that? I mean, so here's where our addiction is. Often we're addicted sometimes to wanting things to be different. We're, we come back to this idea of thinking we can control, or thinking that we can hold on to something. Nothing in this world, in the universe that we live in, can be held on to. Nothing. Those who've lost a parent realize that's true. Those who've lost a child also know that's true. You know, Nothing can be held on to. If we've lost a business that we put our heart and soul in, we know, oh my gosh, everything is moving. And so, but we're addicted to the idea that we can stop life, or hold life or control life, or on the outside. And what does it bring us? It brings us misery. We're miserable because of it. We're like, ah, why can't they see? Why can't they just behave? Why can't they, don't they know how life could be different, when we're thinking of the obvious addict? So we surrender is the answer. Okay, I say that I believe in this higher power. I believe in the universal intelligence. I believe in, the oneness of all things. And yet I'm addicted to this idea that I can control life and make it the way I want it. And so what ends up happening, in a way, is we're setting an example for the addict, the obvious addict, that we don't trust life. We're saying to the obvious addict, wow, You need God in your life. You need to turn your will and your life over to the care of God, and yet we don't do it. We don't do it in relationship. We don't do it in business. We don't do it in, in how we hold our children so tightly, or how we hold our love, the man of your life or the woman of your life so tightly that we're not really setting an example of living in freedom, happy, joyous, and free. No way, baby. I want what I want, right? That's the deal, and that's addiction. We fall into this idea that we can control life, and even then, more subtle than that is we become addicted to the story. Poor me, my relationships never work. Oh, I'm so sad. Another man left me, or another woman left me, and so we become addicted to the story, and it's another addiction. It becomes like an identity. We become addicted to this identity of who we are, who we think we are, and again, it's a form of addiction, and we become known for that, and attached to the story. Maybe we've been abused, and we become attached to the story of our abuse, and we move from one relationship to the next. Maybe we have a story about ourselves that we're not good enough. We're addicted to that story. We believe it's true. And we say we believe in God. We do. We say, oh, I believe. But belief isn't enough, is it? Belief doesn't do the trick. And this is where, for those, I was talking to somebody recently and was asking, how do I change? That this friend of mine, new friend, has asked, how do I change? I suspect there are many roads to this relationship, this God sufficient or God relationship. This instead of self-reliant to become God-reliant. There's different roads to it, but lots of us have found this easy road. It really is. Maybe not easy. This simple road, right, Jilly? The simple road to awakening, which is, first of all, the very first piece of it is that we actually realize, we become self-realized. We realize that, oh my gosh, I cannot run the show. I'm in life, but I'm not of it. I can't run it. I can't manipulate it. I can't organize it. I can't, and those sometimes what happens when we realize that we can't run it, we make our life really small, trying to just manage our little piece of it. We become isolated, and because we're afraid, and we're addicted to our fear, and we're like, but there's a solution. There is a way, and the way is that if we realize that we can't manage our lives, that we are powerless over our addictions, and the multitude of them. Addicted to our stories, addicted to relationship, addicted to our kids, our identities, all of that. When we realize that we are powerless over that, we cannot surrender that on our own. We have to acknowledge it and become aware of it, and then there's a process of recognizing that there is a power in the universe and that we can fall back into that. We can. I love the term of trust fall. We just trust fall back into the arms of God. And when we do that, that's our expression of okay. And so what I'm speaking about is the 12 steps, and it's been used, in Emotions Anonymous. Imagine Emotions Anonymous. What would you be addicted to in Emotions Anonymous? Our emotions, yes. Sex and Love Anonymous, what are we addicted to? We're addicted to this idea of romantic love, and the intensity of the new relationship. So we see that, we realize that, we begin to surrender that, and we see how we're holding on. If there is a universal intelligence, if there is a God, he's got this. He, she, it, that, is this, has this. He doesn't really need us. Doesn't need us. We can just relax and breathe into it, and we turn our will and our lives over to that. Our thoughts and our actions, our will and our lives over to that. And then there's some cleanup steps for. Is it, we get to look at ourselves in depth. We get to look at ourselves in depth, and see how we've been addicted to ideas. Yeah, we see how we've been angry, because we weren't getting our way. Angry at our addict, angry at God, angry at life, angry at men, angry at women. Just freaking angry. But we covered it up. So our persona was that, often a victim persona that isn't angry. So just watch, and we look deeply into this in the fourth step. Our fears and our angers and our selfishness, because we've been selfish. We wanted our way. Damn it. I just had my 6-year-old grandchildren here for a little while, and they're twins, and at 6, they want their way. And when they don't get their way, what do? They cry, or they stamp their feet, or they throw little things. They're beautiful, but that's what they do. And so here we are in our 30 or 40 or 50 or 60-year-old bodies. We're still doing it. I want my way. I'll show them. I'll show them, And so we have to let go. And we see in 4 and 5 what it is we need to let go. And 6 and 7, we actually categorically surrender. We don't work on it. We can't work on being less selfish. We just surrender to this power. And know that we're already in the hands of this higher power. 8 and 9, we clean up some of the wreckage of the past, the stuff that holds us down, the stuff that sometimes, I say it's like chains, anchors, and the anchors, bye Jilly, love you, the chains and the anchors of our past sins, if you will. Sins of omission or sins of commission, and in 8 and 9 we're able to release ourselves. We get free, and our natural state is unconditional love. And as we lift up from guilt and shame and fear and anger, as we lift up, we move into that natural state of joy, happy, joyous, and free, right? And grateful, and yes, and love. So that's it. And then, those 12 steps at 10 and 11, 10 helps us to keep an eye on things on a daily basis, so we don't fall back. And 11 helps us to stay in touch with this higher power through prayer and meditation. Yes. And 12 is a giveaway. We give it all away. And there's any of these that can be missed. Not one. So we give it all away in 12. We share it. And that's what this is about. I think it's August 14th. Is it? Yes, it is. Okay. August 14th. Somebody is texting me. Jilly, thank you. It's nice to see you back, love. There we go. Going to read from this book. I love to read it every day. It's a little bit of something from the old school of the 12-step world, August 14th, thought for the day. This is a 24-hour day book. I'm going to really quickly read it. No person likes to think he is bodily or mentally different from his fellows. No person likes to think he or she is bodily or mentally different from his fellows. Our drinking careers have been characterized by countless vain attempts to prove that we could drink like other people. I mean, that is the illusion. Yep. This delusion that we are like other people has to be smashed. It has been definitely proved that no real alcoholic ever recovers control. Over any considerable period of time, we get worse. Any considerable period, we get worse, never better. That's the same, though, with all addictions. You know, if we're in the addiction of wanting things to be different, we can become bitter. We don't have to be in a physical addiction from drugs or alcohol. We can become bitter, you know. Instead of accepting life on life's terms, we're like, I want things to be different. Fun. Anyway, here we go. There is no such thing as making a normal drinker out of an alcoholic. And so this book is focused mostly on the addiction of alcoholism. But we have a joke in AA is that, once a cucumber becomes a pickle, once it's pickled, it can never be a cucumber again. It's the same with the alcoholic. It's the same with the alcoholic. So once you become pickled, you can never go back. Okay, meditation for the day. It says, I don't know if I understand this. Meditation for the day. We should, it says, and I'm not big on shoulds, but anyway, it says that. So we'll go with it and see where it goes. We should have life and have it more abundantly, spiritually, mentally, physically, abundant life, joyous, powerful life. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I like that. We should. Well, we can. We can have life and have it more abundantly, spiritual, mentally, physically, abundant life, joyous and powerful life. These we can have if we follow the right way. Not all people will accept from God the gift of an abundant life. Yes, this is what we're talking about. A gift held out free to all. A gift held out free to all. Not all people care to stretch out a hand and take it. God's gift, the richest he has to offer, is the precious gift of abundant life. People often turn away from it, reject it, and will have none of it. Do not let this be true of you. Nice, sweet, because that's exactly what I'm speaking of right now, is that, ego has such tricks to keep us in our old ways, say we have somebody in our life that is in addiction, and, so we feel guilt. How can we enjoy life when they're in such pain? Well, that's bullshit. That's ego. Just life is beautiful. And the best example we can set for everybody is to live it, be in it, and love it, and love them too. Okay? To accept the gift of life. I pray, it says, that I may hasten to accept the gift of abundant spiritual life. I pray that I may live the good life to the best of my ability. Beautiful. Okay, you guys. Isn't that exciting? So thanks so much for this morning and for just being here and for today. And if you'd like to share this, that's super. And starting in September, we're going to do Monday meditations again. Yes, And we're on YouTube as well. Love it if you go and follow our YouTube channel. It's kind of under Bally and Beyond and Project Awakening and David. I put my name on it now too. And yeah, love it if you did that. And love you guys. Call anytime. I mean, or just text, and yeah, thank you, Tam. Thank you. Yeah, text. Let's stay in touch. And I mean, this is my life. I love being able, 40 years of mucking around and trying to control the show. I finally let go, and this is it. This is the way. So, love you, and I am 100% available to chat and live in love. Okay, you guys. Have a super, super day. Bye.